Hey everybody, this is Pastor Tim. Jared asked me if I would come on and talk with you guys, the worship leaders and stuff, so I was really excited to have that opportunity. And I just want to say, hey, while I'm here and I have you, thank you for everything that you do. You guys are awesome and amazing. You're incredibly talented, and above all, you just honor God in what you do, and it makes me want to honor God in what I do. And I just want to follow you into worship every Sunday. So thank you so much for what you do. Recently, I've been doing a lot of work in the book of Nehemiah, getting ready for All Valley Jam. And one of the things that I have just been really struck by in the book of Nehemiah, two things really, but the first thing really is just Nehemiah's broken heart. I'll read to you just Nehemiah chapter 1, his response to the news. He's talking with his brother and some guys who have been back to Jerusalem. And of course, Jerusalem has just been destroyed. The walls are down, the gates have been burned, the people living there are in distress. No one will move there to do business. They're really just in a vulnerable, dangerous place. And Nehemiah hears this, and it says in verse 4, chapter 1, verse 4, it says, when I heard these things, I sat down and I wept for many days, or for some days, depending on your translation. It says, I mourned and fasted and prayed before the Lord of heaven. It's this idea that he hears this news and it just crushes him. I mean, it's that heart anguish, like where someone has abandoned you, or you've lost a loved one, and it just tears you up on the inside, and you maybe don't want to be emotional, you don't want to cry in front of people, but you can't help but cry in front of people. You're just kind of just moved in the deepest part of your soul in pain. And that's where Nehemiah finds himself because of this news of how the people that are back in his hometown are living. He's hearing how bad it is there for him, and his heart's just breaking for him. But the thing is, as I was reading it, this isn't new news. It's bad news for Nehemiah, but it's not new news. The people in Jerusalem, they've been living this way for a long time. They were allowed to go back about 50 years before Nehemiah writes this. So maybe Nehemiah's whole life, there have been people living in Jerusalem, living this way, living in a dangerous place, in a vulnerable place, living in a heartbreaking place. It wasn't that the news was new. It was that for the first time, maybe, Nehemiah allowed the condition of the people to really affect him. He allowed maybe his heart to open to them in a way that it hadn't before. And he started seeing the faces of people that he knew. He started seeing the faces of people that were hurting. He started seeing the faces of people who needed protection. And he was just moved to a place of mourning and fasting and praying for a long time. And here was my conviction as I was reading that. A lot of times I have gone into an environment, I've gone into a worship service or a teaching time with the students, and I've got everything worked out really, really well. I've got a great story, and I've got awesome illustrations, and I've got a strong text, and I'm going to go talk to people that I know want to hear the word. I've got a great audience. One of the things I just love about our church is just the love that the people of our church have for the word, and I've got everything in place, and it's going to be awesome. But the one thing that I'm lacking is a broken heart. I haven't really let my heart break over the issues that are talked about in Scripture. I haven't really let my heart break over the people that are in the room. And I know it. I know it. When I get to the other side of it, I know that God could have done more, that God could have used me in a greater way if I had allowed my heart to break and feel the full weight of what was at stake. So my encouragement to you this week is this, as strange as it sounds, to encourage you to allow your heart to break. But as you're preparing in music, or whether you're working behind the scenes with the tech equipment, or you're going to be the lead singer, the one leading us all, whatever your role is this week, I'm sure you're going to have the music down perfect. I'm sure you're going to have your transitions worked out perfect. You guys all sing and play so well, it's going to be amazing. All the slides will be in place. Everything will be working just perfect. The lights will look beautiful. You guys will be just amazing. But let's don't enter in this week with everything perfect and not have a broken heart. Let's allow God to break our hearts this week for the people that we'll stand in front of and the people that will lead, that they have come into this place, some of them celebrating and happy, but some of them very broken, some of them very hurt and wounded, some of them very intimidated at the fact that they're even in a church or in a church this big. Let's go in this week with a broken heart and allow God to just move through us and do far more than we could ever ask or imagine. I am really excited about this opportunity. Thank you for letting me have a couple minutes of your time. Thank you for everything you do for our church and for the people in our community. God bless you guys, and I will see you Sunday.